Good afternoon, student. This is AVV EMC Digital Classroom, where learning never stops. In the previous class, we have learned we have learned in the Indian economy subject what is environment pollution, the different definitions of environment pollution, factors responsible for environment pollution, that is classified between the two natural factors and man-made factors. Main factors behind the environmental problems we have discussed: poverty, deforestation, agricultural development, population growth, and industrial development. We have learned about industrial development and the little bit about the industrial pollution. So today I start with the industrial pollution again. What is industrial pollution? With the coming of the industrial revolution, humans were able to advance further into the 21st century. Technology developed rapidly, science became advanced, and the manufacturing age came into view. With all of these came one more effect: industrial pollution came. Earlier, industries were small factories that produced smoke as the main pollutant. However, since the number of factories were limited and worked only a certain number of hours a day, the level of pollution did not grow significantly. But when these factories become full-scale industries and manufacturing units, the issue of industrial pollution started to take one more importance. Any form of pollution that can trace its immediately source to industrial practice is known as industrial pollution. Most of the pollution on the planet can be traced back to industries of some kind. In fact, the issue of industrial pollution has taken on a grave importance for agencies trying to fight against environmental degradation. Countries facing sudden and rapid growth of such industries are finding it to be a serious problem which has to be brought under control immediately. Industrial pollution takes on many faces. It, it contaminates many sources of drinking water, releases unwanted toxins into the air, and reduces the quality of soil all over the world. Major environmental disasters have been caused due to industrial mashup, which have yet to be brought under control. So here we are going to discuss few of the causes of industrial pollution that have resulted in environmental degradation. So these are the causes of industrial pollution. First, we can say lack of policies to control pollution. Lack of effective policy and poor enforcement drive allowed many industries to bypass laws made by the Pollution Control Board, which resulted in mass-scale pollution that affected the lives of many people. Unplanned industrial growth. In most industrial townships, the unplanned growth took place wherein those companies flouted rules and norms and polluted the environment with both and air pollution. That these are unplanned industrial growth. It's a growth, but which is unplanned. And due to the unplanned industrial growth, there is We can see water pollution as well as polluted environment in the area where it's located. Third one is use of outdated technologies. Most industries still rely on old technologies to produce products that generate a large amount of waste. To avoid high cost and expenditure, many companies still make use of traditional technologies to produce high-end products. So the use of outdated technology is also one of the reasons for the industrial pollution. Fourth one is presence of a large number of small-scale industries. We know that the small-scale industry plays an important role in the if we talk about the share in GDP. But then also many small scale industries and factories that don't have even capital and rely on government grants to run their day-to-day business often escape environment regulations and release a large number of toxic gases in the atmosphere. The fifth is inefficient waste disposal. Water pollution and soil pollution are often caused directly due to inefficient in the disposable waste. Long-term exposure to polluted air and water causes chronic health problems, making the issue of industrial pollution into a severe one. It also lowers the air quality in surrounding areas, which causes many respiratory disorders. Sixth one is leaching of the resource from our natural world. Industries do require a large amount of raw materials to make them into finished goods. The raw material into the finished products. This requires the extraction of minerals from beneath the earth. The extracted minerals can cause soil pollution when spilled on earth. Leaks from vessels can cause oil spills that may prove harmful for marine life. So these are the causes of industrial pollution. Lack of policies to control pollution, unplanned industrial growth, use of outdated technology, presence of large number of small-scale industries, inefficient waste disposal and leaching of resource from natural world. Now, what is the effect of industrial pollution on the environment is very important to understand. Once we uh, once we get the idea of effects, then we will solve the effects with some measures which were taken by the government of India to solve the environment problem. So first we learn effects of industrial pollution. Effects of industrial pollution on our environment. First, water pollution. The effects of industrial pollution are far reaching and liable to affect the ecosystem for many years to come. Most industries require large amount of water for their work. When involved in a series of processes, the water comes into contact with heavy metals, harmful chemicals, radioactive waste, and even organic sludge. These are either dumped into the open ocean or rivers. As a result, many of our water resources have a high amount of industrial waste in them, which seriously impact the health of our ecosystem. The same water is then used by farmers for irrigation purpose, which affects the quality of food that is produced. So water pollution has already rendered many groundwater resources useless for human and wildlife. It can at best be recycled for further usage in industries. So this is a one effect of industrial pollution which creates the water pollution. The other is soil pollution. Soil pollution is creating problem in agriculture and destroying local vegetation. We have discussed this point. It also causes chronic health issues to the people that come in contact with such soil on a daily basis. Air pollution, if we talk about air pollution has led to a steep increase in various illness and it continuously to affect us on a daily basis. With so many small, mid and large scale industries coming up, air pollution has taken the toll on the health of the people and the environment. The next effect of industrial pollution is wildlife extinction. By and large, the issue of industrial pollution shows us that it causes natural rhythms and pattern to fail, meaning that the wildlife is getting affected in a severe manner. Habitats are being lost, species are become extinct, and it is harder for the environment to recover from each natural disaster. Major industrial accidents like oil spills, fires, the leak of radioactive materials, and damage to property are harder to clean up as they have a higher impact in a shorter span of time. Global warming. We know that global warming is a burning issue of the world at present. So, with the rise in industrial pollution, global warming has been increased at a steady pace. Smoke and greenhouse gases are being released by industries into the air, which causes an increase in global warming. Melting of glaciers, extinction of polar bears, floods, tsunamis, hurricanes are few of the effects of global warming. The issue of industrial pollution concerns every nation on the planet. As a result, many steps have been taken to seek permanent solution to the problem. Better technology is being developed for the disposal of waste and recycling as much polluted water in the industries as possible. Organic methods are being used to clean the water and soil, such as using microbes that naturally use heavy metals and waste as feed. Policies are being pushed into the place to prevent further misuse of land. However, industrial pollution is still rampant and will take many years to be brought under control. So, this is industrial pollution, one factor which create impacts on the environment. So the factor which creates impact on the or which creates which is responsible for the environmental pollution. Now the next is urbanization. Exodus of population from rural area to urban centers and origin and expansion of new urban centers due to industrial expansion and development are responsible for rapid rate of exploitation of natural resources and several type of environmental degradation and pollution in the developed and developing countries. The level of urbanization in the developed countries of the world has already reached its peak. The accumulation of wealth and availability of more economic and job opportunities in the urban centers have resulted into the concentration of population in the congested metropolitan areas and thus the formation and growth of big slums area. In fact, increasing urbanization means increase in the concentration of human population in limited space, which results in the increase of buildings, roads and streets, sewages and storm drains, vehicles, that is motor cars, two-wheeler, four-wheeler, everything, truck, buses, number of factories, urban waste, smokes and dust, sewage water, etc., which cause several environmental problems. For example, increasing population of the urban centers uses enormous amount of water for various purposes. The used water wastewater like sewage water, if untreated, pollutes these streams and lakes because the urban effluents are allowed to be drained into them. Urban centers, when combined with industrial sector, become more hazards from the standpoint of environmental problem and pollution. We know that industrialization and urbanization both goes in the same direction. Both are complementary to each other. If uh, industrialization rises, the urbanization rises. We know that both are complementary to each other. Huge quantity of gases is emitted from the chimneys of factories and vehicles, which from dust domes over the cities. These dust domes causes pollution domes over the cities. The urban and industrial growth has resulted into rapid rate of deterioration of the quality of air because of heavy pollution of air through gases and aerosols emitted from the vehicles. Factories and houses hold effluents. About 60% of the pollution of India capital city of Delhi is contributed by vehicles. Calcutta and Bombay, that is Mumbai, metropolitan areas have also reached high level of air pollution. According to the survey report of the National Environment Research Institute, Nagpur, India, so according to this report, the level of air pollution in Delhi, Calcutta, Bombay, Madras, Ahmedabad, Hyderabad, Kanpur and Nagpur, etc. has gone up. Beside industrial waste from industrial cities, huge quantity of urban solid waste also creates environmental problem. The quality of urban solid waste is rapidly increasing with urban expansion and growth in urban population. So these are the main factors which affects the environment and create a problem in the economy. So it should be noted here that conservation and protection of environment and pollution control is a problem faced not only by India, but it is a worldwide problem, and in the absence of suitable measures to deal with these issues, it would be rather difficult to reap the expected benefits of development. In fact, environmental protection and pollution control are an integral part of the process of economic development. In this connection, two main points should be noted. First, quality of environment, which includes right of access of safe, clean and adequate water supply, clean air, etc., which is essential for the public welfare, and this has been one of the objectives of economic development. And the second, environmental loss, which can adversely affect the future productivity of the nation. Thus, for example, excessive and indiscriminate use of natural resources like land, forest, mineral wealth, marine wealth, etc., may endanger the interest of future generation. So, in this regard, I want to explain one concept or discuss one concept, that is sustainable development. Here I want to say one quote given by Mahatma Gandhi. Earth provides enough to satisfy every man's need, but not every man's greed. Modern writers have used the term sustainable development in an attempt to explain the balance between economic growth and the conservation and protection of environment. Sustainable development refers to meeting the needs of the present generation without compromising the need of the future generation. Thus, economic growth will be sustainable if the stock of capital assets, including land, remains constant or increases over time. It may, however, be noted that future economic development and quality of life crucially depends on the natural resources base and quality of the environment, that is the quality of land, water and air. To destroy and overexploit the natural resources indiscriminately and pollute the environment will though raise the short-term growth rate and living standard of the people, will have adverse effect on the long-term future growth and quality of life of the future generations. It is therefore necessary that while declining about growth or deciding about growth, environmental issues should be given due and utmost consideration. To end sustainable development, there are so many measures taken to conserve and protect environment. These measures are legislative measure, economic measure, social measure, environmental education, environmental impact assessment. So these measures, we discuss these measures. So as we well know, India has a plenty of natural and mineral resources. It has by and large a favorable and conducive climate condition, vast productive land, plenty of water resources, rich forest wealth, various sources of energy, marine wealth, etc. And if these resources are used discriminately and with great care and caution and in an optimum manner, they can meet the physical requirement of our people for a very long time to come. But due to indiscriminate and over excessive use of these resources, it has adversely affected both the stock as well as the quality of these resources. The main factor responsible for the environmental pollution and degradation and the resultant ecological imbalances we discuss here. We have discussed. Now the measures uh, which we are going to discuss. The first is legislative measure. A number of legislative measures have been initiated by the government for conservation and protection of environment. Some of the important measures are: first, the Wildlife Protection Act 1972, Water Prevention and Control of Pollution Act of 1974, which was amended in 1978 and 1988 to prevent water pollution. The Air Prevention and Control of Pollution Act 1981 and 1988, the Forest Conservation Act 1980 and amended in 1988, the Forest Act, the Environmental Protection Act 1986. So many legislative measures have been taken to protect environment in the Indian economy. And various agencies and institutions to conserve and protect environment are working in the Indian economy. I want to say two or four name of them. The Department of Environment was the government has set up number of agencies and institutions for the conservation and protection of environment. Uh, the Department of Environment was set up in 1980, followed by the creation of a full-fledged Ministry of Environment and Forest in 1985. Similarly, bodies have been set up in the states and union territories. Indian Council of Forestry Research and Education, National Land Use and Waste Land Development Council 1985, National Waste Land Development Board 1985, National Environment Council under the chairmanship of the Prime Minister. So these are the agencies, various agencies and institutes which works to conserve and protect environment. If we talk about the economic measures for the conservation and protection of environment, the following main economic measures may be suggested. That first, we say that it is essential to regulate all such activities and operations which are determinantal for the health of the people and which adversely clean environment for which adversely clean the environment. We say permission should not be given to set up any industry creating pollution in over polluted and over congested cities and nearby areas. Traditional industries creating pollution like textile industry, sugar industry, leather industry, etc. should be made to adopt pollution free technology. Industry should be encouraged to adopt environment friendly approach. Suitable incentives may be offered for this. Secondly, we say that proper functioning of the market mechanism has also an important role to play in environmental preservation. First, we can say it is essential to review the policy of giving subsidies on product like fertilizers, fuel, kerosene, irrigation, power, etc., so that their indiscriminate use can be prevented. Suitable incentives should be given to such techniques of production and technology which are eco-friendly and preserve and protect environment. Likewise, while the price of key and subsidies products, the cost incurred on the use of national resources should be taken into account and reflect in price fixing. Ownership rights of natural resources should be explicit, made clear so that the responsibility in case of environmental degradation can be squarely fixed. Development strategy should be so framed that it is less energy intensive and less resource intensive. If we talk about the social measures to be preserved and protect the environment, the mainly we discuss in this lecture is The first, control of high growth rate of population through appreciable reduction in birth rate, spread of female education, extensive healthcare facilities, etc. Likewise, effective implementation of poverty eradication programs also helps in preventing indiscriminating use of natural resources. Second, people's participation in the preparation of environmental programs and their implementation can play a very important role in this connection. Through education and the use of information technology, people can be made aware of the dangers of environmental degradation. Here, the NGOs, the non-government organization, can play a key role in mass awakening and mass awareness amongst the people. Without an understanding of how to conserve natural resources and the complete need to do so, few people would be motivated to participate actively in programs of environmental conservation. In India, some of the organizations like Gandhi Pace Foundation, one is Gandhi Peace Foundation, other is Jan Prayavaran Manch, Lok Cheta Manch, etc. are doing very useful work in the field of environmental conservation. If we say environmental education, if we talk about the environmental education is also one of the measures to protect and conserve the environment. Environmental education training and research are of critical importance for creating the necessary awareness of the society. With this end in view, environmental education awareness and training programs have been introduced as part of academic curriculum in recent years in schools, colleges, and universities of the countries. Likewise, with a view to spread awareness about clean environmental and for mass awakening amongst the people, various agencies are functioning at the central and state level. So these programs, among the other things, includes first inclusion of environment as a topic in the academic curriculum of all education institution. It means it must be compulsory, and it made it compulsory for each and every academic program or academic curriculum of all education institution. The topic must be given in the syllabus or the curriculum or in the curriculum. Non-government organization and all print and electronic media are being encouraged and provided with all the publicity material pertaining to the environmental education and information. Financial assistance to various agencies and organizations engaged in the work of environmental education and publicity. The fourth, to prepare, educate, and train manpower for environmental education and training and provide visual cassettes and other equipment, visual CDs, visual videos, and other equipments to set up centers of excellence for environmental education and research. So these are the major. Here there are more 4 to 5 measures which I want to discuss to conserve and protect the environment. But I will teach in my next lecture the other 5 to 6 measures to conserve and protect the environment. So here So here I am stopping my lecture.